So today we're going to be talking about the best bang for the buck that you can get power-wise on your Harley, and it has to do with exhaust.
Now, before we get into this very popular Harley subject, we'd appreciate if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. It would really help us out. So Kevin, what is the #1 cause of exhaust performance loss in a V-twin?
Reversion.
Exactly right.
So what we're going to talk about today is a small device. It's a patented product, Thunder Torque Inserts, and there's been a lot of talk, a lot of questions. How can something that is so small produce such a big increase in power? And people have asked for proof and this and that. And you can bring up on the screen, Dwayne, right now, what we've had for years on our website is Thunder Torque Insert before and after Dyno Charts. And we just did 2 days doing different dyno polls on different bikes. And we tried Thunder Torque Inserts in 4 of them. And we have the results that we're going to share with you today.
Now, before we go any further, you know, a lot of people, they call in, they ask me, and I catch a lot of these questions like, how could that possibly work? You know, and of course, we do have a patented design on the Thunder Torque Insert, but it's not a concept we invented. I mean, people have been using methods of preventing reversion for years. Reversion is a big issue on V-twins, and, you know, louvered cutouts, scooped cutouts in baffles, tabs, things like that inside the baffle. People have been doing it for years. It's just that we find that the most universal way to do it is with the Thunder Torque Insert. It's powder coated, it's gonna last the life of the exhaust. The wavy design increases velocity of the exhaust gases even more, and they prevent reversion.
Right, and yeah, it's one of those things where they're so inexpensive. I mean, for less than $50, you can get up to a 15 or 20% increase in power, and people go, no, it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
If something's too good to be true, it must be.
I bought a t-shirt at the dealership for $50, didn't give me any horsepower. How could this give me horsepower?
Yeah. Let's look at these dyno charts and we can talk about what they mean. This first one is what we want to see. And this is on a popular set of exhaust short shots. The red line is the torque that was produced on this Sportster with some short shots on it. Then we added some Thunder Torque Inserts to the short shots, and you can see the torque is much, much better. The horsepower is better too. The torque is much, much better. Obviously a huge improvement for under 50 bucks on this Sportster. Here is something. This is a bike with a twin cam with a stage 4 in it, and we can see it has a huge dip. Oh, and this twin cam has rush slip-ons on it, and we can see because of the reversion.
Kevin, before we go any further, they're probably asking themselves, what's reversion?
So there's a video up in the corner here that goes into detail on what reversion is and how it robs a bike of power. But generally, people know that when they put open pipes on their bike, they're going to lose power. They're going to have a dip in power. So to get the sound they want, it's an open pipe usually, and it's going to have a dip in power just like this one did. We put the Thunder Torque Inserts in there, and we can see it went up a little, it dipped a little, but then the power grew. It didn't have that big dip. So all the peak torque is no different. But where we ride, right, where we ride in here between 25 and 3,500 RPM, the torque is much more than without the Thunder Torque Inserts.
So here's a 2021 M8 Road Glide and stock exhaust, and we put the Thunder Torque Inserts in there. Now you might be saying that doesn't look like much of a difference, but it's worth noting the torque, the power overall comes on much sooner, lasts a little longer, goes a little higher, and overall made a difference in how the seat of the pants would feel when accelerating on this bike.
Right, and so this is not near as radical a difference as the other 2 bikes, but it just shows you that this particular bike with this particular tune, with this particular exhaust, although it did benefit, it wasn't having much of a problem without the Thunder Torque Inserts, but that's an unusual situation.
All right, now in this chart, this was a 110 Cvo Twin Cam. So again, you know, it's built for built for performance that comes on later in the power band. But you'll see there's a significant dip. Right at about 2,500 to 3,000 RPM, there's a little dip. And the Thunder Torque inserts, more or less, were a Band-Aid to this dip. You know, it made it less significant, made the power come on a little sooner, made it last a little higher for a little longer.
Right. And this is a Thunder header exhaust, a very expensive exhaust, a performance exhaust. And it's one of the reasons why this bike, it's a 2004, 2005 CVO, but it's producing some pretty respectable numbers. It's just shy of 110 foot-pounds of torque on a twin cam from 17 years ago. And so one of the reasons why it does have such good torque is because of the Thunder headers. But as Dwayne said, it's further along in the RPM range, and the Thunder Torques just gave it a little bit better all along the path of the power band.
Now, there's a lot more to the Thunder Torque inserts than just building power.
Yeah, and we have a whole video that we'll put up here on how running your exhaust tuned or preventing reversion helps the bike run cooler, which helps it run stronger, which helps it last longer. Also, the other thing to note is that a lot of people are looking in their exhaust, they're looking for a louder exhaust.
Right.
The factory exhaust is too quiet. So then they go and they get some exhaust that's really free flowing, really open. But what that does is now it might be louder than they like or sharper than they like. And besides adding more power, more torque to the power band, the Thunder Torque inserts also deepen the tone some.
Oh yeah,
quiet it down
gives it
some.
a much lower tone, more of a thump, which a lot of people like, especially on the new M8s where they have a lot of engine noise and they don't really sound as much like a Harley as Harleys used to sound. So they're a good way to get a really good exhaust note.
So this is sort of old hat to us. We deal with it all day, every day. We've had dyno charts from over 10 years ago on these, but we ran these new dyno charts showing what kind of power increase you can expect to see by installing Thunder Torque inserts.
And as always, if you have questions about fitment or compatibility, shoot us an email to support@dkcustomproducts.com, and it'll speed the process along if you send us a picture looking into the exit of your exhaust. Do that, and generally we can always tell you exactly what size insert you would need.
Y'all ride safe out there.